Here.
Yep. So
The gang's up here.
He's all here. I will try to push on as much as I can. I apologize if I'm a little out of it. / I don't know how long the session will be, but we'll just see how it plays out.
Okay.
I just want to roll my 2 dice.
That's all no cocaine for. He's gonna roll the 2 dice and leave. That's it.
Well, I mean, if I die.
The world explodes. The end.
I hope you
The
prep
end.
secondary
Campaign
character,
over.
Nick. I hope you prep the second character.
Yes, it's a kobold.
Become Duncan Fisher and explode.
Welcome to Solaris 7.
Okay, so does someone want to recap, or did everyone already kind of look over the notes
Okay.
and all that? Or
Stream is up. Ready to go.
Yeah, we can do a quick recap. We fought up some spooky lobsters. I took a bit of lobster for my own personal use. There was a Draco Lich dark dragon thingy that we ran away from a cursed island. The dove and his friend, the names are escaping me. Moment.
He who was Feitoru.
Yeah. Feitoru, who had a really Theodore.
Theodoric was the mouse, and Feitoru was Thomas.
Yes.
That's it.
So Tom and Teddy came and stopped by and told us that we have to save the world. And we finally got the boat back to shore, and Arestamore is being a jerk, saying, "Wow,
Look
I
at
was
his
gonna say
skin color.
applesauce,
He's evil,
but that's-
obviously.
It's like, welcome home, get
Welcome home.
arrested.
Yeah, welcome
Also,
home. Get arrested.
casual racism.
Hey,
We're
Hard
getting
work.
arrested over a broken chandelier.
hey, professional
Wow.
racism is hard work.
Chandeliers are expensive, okay?
Barnacle's getting arrested over it. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone else is.
Barnacle's getting arrested.
Anderos is getting arrested.
Yeah, yes. You guys
That's the
don't
other-
quite know that yet.
Well, I mean, we ended
Didn't
with
he
that.
say the name?
Yes. They said the
Yeah.
name, but that's about it.
Oh.
I'm just gonna call him Barnacle.
Yeah, so that all happened. You also got a bit of a exposition dump from Thomas and Theodoric regarding kind of some of the what's happening around in the world around you, some of that bigger picture, with Faust once having been a defender of the realm, like an old ancient dragon turned Draco Lich, and his descent into becoming basically a harbinger to a much greater power, something that seems to lurk between the very seams of the different planes. And then Theodoric basically told each of you which plane you are tied to, as you each serve a purpose to trying to either find allies or bring safety or bring some sort of either defending that plane or calling its aid, or that you have some form of tie to these different planes. But yeah, and then upon returning, you were basically accosted at the dock by Arestamore and House Leopold, as well as Richard, I believe it was Sir Richard. List of people.
General Bolton. Richard was the
Bolton.
guy. Richard
Yeah,
was the
Richard.
guy who got us the saber from the other dude.
Yes, Richard's the guy. Richard's his assistant. All right, yeah. So it's
Want some dock noises?
Yeah.
I forgot his name was Bolton. That's kind of creepy.
Yep, it's Bolt. Yes, and then Aristamore coming forward and accusing you of consorting with the evils that they have now kind of seen storming off the docks, as well as what they saw on the boat, ripping off the pendant of that Barnacle is wearing to reveal a blue-skinned tiefling underneath. We pretty much ended also with everyone having some form of attempted reaction, as well as Thaymor's to first literally just go steroid mode and start
Get hammered.
dunking magic, wild magic beans. So I guess we'll start with that.
Sounds like a
Because
plan.
that may determine how people react. Quite possibly.
Suddenly, Thamor explodes and actually ascends to godhood.
Suddenly there's another Draco Lich. and his name's Thamor. So, Thamor, I know you've been waiting for this. Let's go ahead and go to do something. I'm just kidding. Go ahead and roll the D 10,000. I think it's 10,000, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The D 10,000. Actually, I guess it's 100,000. Is this 100,000?
Technically, he ate 2 beans
That's what I'm saying. We have to roll the 2 dice.
sequentially.
Roll it again.
Yeah, it is 10,000. I can't do basic math in my head.
Now go roll another die.
There we
Alright,
go.
so let's see.
469 and 7467.
Okay. Well, that's something.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Thamor, as you just kind of see what's going on in a I don't know what kind of childhood trauma Thamor has gone through that your first reaction in a police situation of sorts is to just eat the drugs.
He's hiding the evidence.
He's a nervous eater, guys.
He's just smart. Let's face it.
He's just smart, but see, let's before I go for both of them, let's double to make sure they don't overlap in some way. I'd be very surprised if they did. Dear Lord, what the fuck did you roll? Okay. Thamor, as you down these beans, let me see, you can almost swear you hear a voice that you maybe hear the voice of Point going, Thamor, this is not the time and place, but oh well. And you feel your body shifting. And for a brief moment, the world as you see it seems to turn slightly lopsided. And the world now has a bit of an odd slant to it. And at first you don't understand why until you reach up to just kind of scratch your nose, as it were, though you don't, through your helmet, I guess. And you realize to your abject horror that not only have your nose and one eye have swapped places, you also now have a toe on each of your hand, extending out
Oh my God.
on the other side as though it were a thumb. So you basically have a small toe growing out on the other side of each of your hands. So you now have a legitimate reason to wear a helmet.
Full Picasso.
Yeah, you basically become a living piece of Picasso's work.
That is amazing.
It's a goddamn modern masterpiece of art.
Cubism,
goodness.
am I right?
Yes, cubism has attacked this dimension.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
So, give it to me again. He has thumbs on his hands.
He has a thumb on each of his... Not a thumb, he has a toe. Which
A
I guess
toe.
we will,
A toe.
yeah, we will say... Roll a D5 and we'll see which toe you have on each hand. Did we lose him? He's muted. I think we broke it.
No!
There it is. Alright, so you get
Middle toe.
your middle toe. Now, an extra copy of your middle toe now sprouts from the side of your hand, opposite your thumb.
I have extra grip.
Do you have gauntlets on? This is gonna be.
Oh, that's gonna be painful. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm wearing gauntlets. Because all I'm wearing is chainmail right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's wearing full plate.
Mhm.
So, and then your eye and your one eye. So, I guess roll a D2. One is left and 2 is right, and we will. Your eye and nose exchange places.
This is
my
my favorite thing
lord.
to happen.
Oh,
So-
love that boy.
So none of us know this though because
Yeah, he's wearing a
there's too
helmet.
much helmet.
So
in the
for you,
way.
nothing's changed.
No,
Right.
He's just gonna take it off and be like, "Oh, I've always looked like this."
So your right eye and your middle toe is pretty much how that works. So yeah, your right eye and nose have exchanged places. You have well, pun intended. I mean, you now have a heightened sense of smell, slightly.
Har. Oh my god.
Worst beans ever.
I need more beans. Quickly.
You're not getting my beans.
But okay, so while Thamor is undergoing, well, the best part is he has to he still thinks everyone should revere him as a god. So this is
That's
gonna
true.
this is gonna be some very fun playoff. But
Me,
anyway,
I'm a god. I have an
Not
extra
afraid.
finger.
all right. Well, okay. Now that that's taken place, what is everyone else doing? As we kind of ended with the thing being, Anderos, once Barnacle is cuffed. The amulet was ripped off his neck. With Arestamor giving that bit of a speech to the crowd, trying to, kind of incite them against him.
Oh, is he actually cuffed?
I believe I said he was cuffed. Yeah, because they cuffed because he tried doing suggestion and he pulled out his fancy cuffs for the hero's welcome.
Yeah, I remember that. I just don't remember the cuffs actually being put on him. But ignore me. Let's say yes.
Sure.
I did hold my wrists out to the guy, so it's fine.
You didn't hold your wrist out, or you did?
No, I did.
Yeah, I thought we had ended with him putting it on because you had cast suggestion to try and do the whole hero's welcome thing, and it worked moderately in his mind, and he ended up with just a nicer pair of cuffs. One befitting a hero.
Yeah, I remember saying he rolled his eyes and was like, "All right, whatever," and kind of held his wrists out.
But okay, so did anyone want to have any other response to the scenario before I continue to play out with Arestamor and?
Well, I was gonna say that Evian was pretty much closer to Anderos when this occurs, especially when he got surrounded first. So she's just kind of passively looking over her shoulder, crossing her arms, watching this all happen, and she gives almost a passive scoff and a roll of her eyes because of how much of an idiot Andreos is, and how gullible these three men, excuse me, and the big bad elf guy think they have the audacity to think they might have him in a corner. And she just looks over to Anderos and kind of raises her eyebrow and gives a slow, kind of a dip of her chin towards him, in trying to kind of say really, is this what you're gonna do? Okay. So that's kind of what she's going to do, but she's not doing anything yet.
Okay.
She's just getting a right read on the situation.
Eddie?
Yeah. Andros catches her eye. You just see him kind of raise an eyebrow, but he doesn't really do much else other than that. He just kind of you see a little bit of disconcertion in his face. We'll say it that way.
And I'm going to say Marani is going to just kind of push up to the front where she's just been standing in the back, kind of observing all of this. And she comes up to the other side of Anderos, and she just catches his eye and gives him kind of a kind smile and a subtle little wink. And then she just turns her attention to Arestamor and just gives him just this, stone cold expression. And I'm not going to do anything else for the moment.
Well, right. Hey, oh, that's my voice, eh?
I love the name or just sneaks out on the side. Sorry, continue.
But go, hey.
Yeah, I haven't done that in the voice in a while, eh? First off, Arestamor, good to see you. Really like the scar. Brings out the pompous asshole in your eyes. But before you at least haul me away, Lord Rosenkrantz. Could we talk for a moment, eh?
He kind of looks over at Arestamore, and Arestamore just slowly just kind of nods his head, like not nods his head, shakes his head no. And Rosenkrantz just looks at you and just gives you this biggest scoff, like, I don't associate with criminals.
Oh, that's the route we're going then, You're calling me a criminal, right? So, coming from the man who invited us to his home, on reward of a quest for a fabled statue, and returned us by giving us to his elven lackey to slaughter us in the back room, eh? We still haven't been paid for that. We wouldn't want the commoners to know that a house of noble birth maybe is less ignoble than they say, eh?
Oh, the lies you spew! How dare you even accuse nobility of such a thing? Why, you came to accept a reward and threatened me for more, and when we didn't give it to you, you dropped the chandelier. Oh, my favorite father's chandelier, all sprawling all over the foyer in an attempt to kill me. The evidence was
After
right there
tried
when
to
the
kill
guards
us.
arrived.
You see Anderos kind of look at Arestamore and just be like, ah, that's the way we're going to play this, eh? Well,
It would be better if both of you shut up, especially you, Blue One.
blue one? What? Blue?
It doesn't matter what anyone says here. What matters happens in a court of law. Looks back over to Arestamore.
Arestamore gives you kind of a nod, just like he doesn't quite know yet, but yeah, he goes, quite. The lad, the other noble lad is correct. What we say here is merely trivial. The true court will occur once we take you into custody, be presented before the noble's court. There, you will face trial, and you will face the consequences of your action. However, given the circumstances, I hope you do like prison food.
Right, so, again, just to be clear, we're all on the same page here, right? We were invited to your home, attacked, we fled, and we're being arrested because your uncle here has a little bit too much magic and has dabbled with your mind.
Again with the insults.
I'm not insulting you. I'm talking about your uncle here. He's the one who's apparently in control.
You dare accuse a noble's lord of accosting a civilian in his own home. I mean, that alone is enough for charges to be brought against you, especially without a proper investigation or any evidence of what you claim. That's just slander.
You see.
And this from the
Andros
one
kinda-
wearing a charm to disguise their, quite frankly, questionable lineage.
Yes, right. I may look fiendish, but I am hardly the most fiendish here. But that being said, if you would like to, I can recount a little bit of my story, if you'd be so inclined to listen. Eh?
You really think... you should just haul him off.
You are free to tell your side of whatever story you could make up, but you might want to save that for the court of law.
Let's just say I don't really trust the course of law around here, eh? If this is the way justice is done on the docks, arresting a man who has been faithfully serving this city, has faithfully served it before. I served on the moon chaser, eh? Anyone here on the docks knows the ship. 10 years. 10 years we've served this city, served its merchants.
And yet you chose to throw it all away by attacking me in my own home. Such an elaborate, long-term goal. I mean, I must applaud you then if your ultimate goal was to work up enough standing to enter my home with such, regard and then use that as an attempt to, try to murder me for profit.
Tell me, do you even remember us coming there? How many people came?
Well, he quickly just kind of scans over the members coming off the dock. About 7.
Oh, was it 7, eh? Right. Well, it seems your memory's a little foggy.
He did suffer a great trauma after having a chandelier nearly dropped on my head in an attempted murder.
You know, you weren't even in the room when that
I
happened.
remember the
You got
name.
led off. Again, I would recommend you talking with your I guess you could call him your nanny, I suppose. You weren't even.
I grow tired of this drivel as he just almost like waves your way. If you have nothing more to say in the, well, I mean, you've got nothing more to really say. You're in cuffs. I will see you at court. And he just turns and immediately starts striding off into the crowd.
Just kind of nods his head
Reinterpret.
toward.
Oh wait, no, don't do that. Where's Alton, by the way?
Where is Alton?
think he's still on the boat.
I remember distinctly at the last session that I was off the left-hand side of the screen, walking away quickly.
Ah,
Okay.
He's
just
not
done.
interested in being a part of this.
So as Leopold and his entourage of his own personal guard kind of start heading back towards the crowd, heading back towards the nobles' quarter, Bolton orders kind of the royal guard around you to kind of they form almost like a ring around you, and start the process of trying to march you towards, like, up towards the nobles' court, where they, I mean, as best you can tell, plan to imprison you.
Oh, right. Don't need to get pushy, eh? I'm coming. Yeah. Bolton, question for you.
Yes.
What dirt's he got on you, then?
What?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. All those nobles types are the same way. Or maybe, that elf messed with your memory too, eh?
How dare you accuse Aristamore of being some kind of manipulator?
Right, sorry. Just be my foggy memory, eh? Forgot that he tried to attack us and we fled for our lives, but I suppose I'm making all that up, along with my crew here, who all have served the Adventurers Guild.
Baseless accusations. I could easily say just as much that your crew is being brainwiped by your foul magics.
Oh, yes, right, sorry. Because of my owns. Apparently I'm an evil sorcerer. Right, I forgot that. Right, lead the way, I suppose. I guess, I've got not much else to say, yeah?
He just kind of smirks, and again, just kind of starts marching forward with the keeping you in tow. And Aristamore's like following behind the entourage, just kind of keeping an eye. The rest of you on the dock, are you following behind, or what's the plan?
I'm definitely following.
Okay.
So would I be able to keep very, very long distance and still trail the whole entourage without being seen as a member of the group?
Roll me a stealth. Kind of, it's not necessarily hard to do, but just kind of trying to look very like you're not intentionally following. You just happen to, yeah. Okay, that works. Yeah, so you're very easily able. They're not like hiding him. They're marching him down the street like they're almost parading him as a criminal. Bolton is not one for hiding. So yeah, so you're able to kind of keep towards like the back alleyways and kind of just keep an eye on where they're going and follow at a distance.
Nice.
And as you guys are following, Evian, or not Evian. Well, Evian and Thamor, the two people still on the dock. Richard approaches you guys, kind of from the throng of the dock, like guards crew that's left. And he just kind of approaches both of you, and kind of quietly motions for you guys just to kind of walk with him as he starts just walking along the dock edge, where like away from where. I'm gonna keep saying Barnacle until my brain shuts off. Where Barnacle's being led away.
Evan moves over to him, keeping conscious of what if any others are looking their way as he does so.
Same here. Moving along.
Yeah. As he walks, kind of just idly looking at the water, he's like, "I'm truly sorry what's happening to your friend. I bear him no ill will, and I may not know him personally, but from the stories I've heard of my men on the docks, he seems to be of repute, despite the change of guys. But every person has their secrets and has their stories they wish kept." And he kind of stops abruptly and just almost as if he's just scanning the water, but you notice he's also looking almost all around him. It's like, your best chance to save your friend is, the way I see it, is you can either try to fight your case at the noble's court, but be warned that without powerful friends, that court is not friendly to those outside the nobility. You have a friend who is a noble, do you not? Do you trust his house is powerful enough and will aid you?
I believe so, but hopefully we might have some outside sources that might help us as well, but I'm sure we can handle it just fine. We do thank you for your concern, but again, some people do have their secrets and sometimes can be a burden, but those secrets can be protected by friends. And we are friends, are we not?
Are you saying that to him or Thamor?
I was saying it to
Richard?
what's his name? Richard?
Richard, yeah.
Richard.
Richard, grins is like, perhaps in another time I would call you friend or even a comrade of sorts. We all have our secrets. And he kind of, again, he just nonchalantly kicks a rock over the dock. And he kind of peers over. He's like, secrets such as knowing a bit about the sewers beneath this place. And it just so happens that several sewers out in the dock are ever so conveniently connected to the nobles' courts and nobles' prisons. It's funny how waste flows from one end to the docks at all times. But again, neither here nor there, and he just again turns sharply and starts walking along the docks.
When he turns to walk away, I'm gonna stand near the edge where he was standing and look down.
Yep. And as you look over the edge, you see a metal grate barely protruding over the water's surface. And you would, I don't know if Thamor knows a lot about tides, but if the tide were to lower during a low tide, that grate may reveal more, and you notice that it is a sewer grate exit.
He knows a little about tides, but yes. Got it.
So, Thamor, how about a trip down to the sewers, shall we?
What's the tide like right now? It's actually a little bit higher.
Yeah, the tide is currently high right now, so looking at the grate, only like the very top portion of it is visible, like maybe the top quarter, if that. You could potentially swim down and try to open it. Again, it's a grate. It may or may not be locked. It may or may not require a bit of force. You don't really know, judging by the look of it.
I would like to wait till it's a little bit lower.
That would be
cherry milk. It's a little bit heavy.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the tides, you don't know exactly when that'll be, but you could potentially ask around to find out when there would be a low tide.
Wouldn't there also be other places into the sewers besides what's on the dock?
Yes. There. I mean, this is just one. This is just something that Richard was showing you.
Okay.
Like, if you there is definitely more options here, and again, it slightly just kind of meta, not trying to guide you on any path of what you want to choose, but you also have a particular party member who has been in the sewers. I don't know if you remember. I know he mentioned something about operating underground or operating in the finding the thieves guild area, but
right. So again, Evan will just put it like a hand on Thaymor's shoulder, kind of giving him a nudge in through his chainmail. Be like, again, we need to go to the sewers, and we know just the right person to lead us there. Follow me, and then she'll go in the direction where the company was actually going towards the high court, but she's actually gonna go into the back alleys, assuming, kind of like thinking there are other places that there's other entrances and stuff like that.
What about your armor fitting?
We can deal with that later, love. And then she just
So, just for for clerical keeping, where exactly is everyone right now?
So right now, and I was about to kind of follow up with everyone else. So
she's
Anderos is being led off into the city proper, heading towards the nobles' quarters. Armed escort and all. Morani seems to be following kind of in tow, just behind the general throng. Alton is following along the sides in the back alley, like following along in the alleys, kind of side streets, keeping an eye on things and being very covert about it. Evian and Thaymor are now following behind, kind of taking that same attempt as Alton, but farther behind as they took a bit of a side trip with Richard. During that time, however, I was going to ask as well what Absinthos and you were going to do.
Well, I guess if asking like if they're going to get the armor fitting later, I'm just going to go back home.
Okay, so you're just going to
go home. There's a reason I'm going back home. It's more than just fuck you, I'll see you at work.
Screw you, I'm going home. Absinthos, Cartman? Like, you have a Karen and now you got a Cartman.
I was thinking Lamar at this point.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I mean, it kind of fits too. He goes home, ma'am. Armor.
Holy shit, Cartman, you got 80-foot satellite dish coming out of your ass. You guys know when you have to take a huge dump. It feels like that, yeah.
Imagine that huge dump coming right back. It doesn't feel good. Anyway, so you're heading. You're just gonna head straight home.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Okay. All right, and then Zidane, what are you doing then in this?
Zidane's going to look at all this, and he's just like I just put on the text chat. He's going to whistle sharply, calling his summoned steed to him. He's going to hop on, and looking around, no one is not really bothered. No one's really bothered to check in with if he's going to go talk to the company heroes and try and fill them in, or at least get some help from the guild leader.
Okay.
And also maybe track down Riel.
All right. So yeah, you head off towards the company of heroes. You get a lot of very curious and surprised looks by passerbys as you ride your illustrious nature wolf through the city streets. Let's see. So we'll hop back and do Anderos and company. So Morani and Alton. You guys, they start marching through the main city. People are pushed out of the way, of course, and they're largely obstructed. And as they go through to the nobles' quarter, that's when the guards kind of start barring the path. Like as they pass through the main walls leading to the nobles' quarter, you find that the guards kind of resume their posts there. Morani, if you try to follow the throng of crowd, they're going to block you off. Alton, if you want to try to find another way through, or if you're going to try and go through the sewers, you can.
Time to head underground.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation to see if you can find. Well, unless you want to default and go back the way you came to an entrance you already know of.
Let's see if we can find something around here.
Okay.
Take a chance. It's not going to be a great roll, but we'll see.
May I be as so bold as to put the city over map?
Yes. Go ahead and. Sorry.
Not great. My passive is actually 12, though, so if that helps.
No. As you kind of poke around the area you're in near the nobles' quarter, you notice it's very, very secure in this area. It seems like the guards have kind of made a point to sweep through the immediate areas near the wall, and you don't seem to find any immediate signs pointing towards a thieves guild entrance or operation.
Okay, I got a different approach then.
Sure.
Is the entrance to the nobles' quarter that they're taking our new blue friend into, that I will have to learn the name of, Anderos, through, the only way to get into the quarter? That's an actual entrance?
There's a couple of different checkpoints, but that's there's the one they're going through now. There's a couple. So they paraded from the docks up to that point, so they would have gone. This map is a little bit different.
Let me construct you my thinking behind the roll that I want to make. I want to make a persuasion roll on a guard at another entrance nearby to see if I can get in.
Okay, yeah. So they've got several checkpoints. There's the main one that they're parading him through, but then I'm going to go ahead and say there's at least two. Actually, the scale is map. I'll say there's 3 other side points, smaller checkpoints that they let for nobles to go through more easily, but they're still fairly guarded. As you kind of approach one on the side, we'll say you go to the one kind of edging closer to the docks. This would be more for a court, an entrance and exits for servants or contractors they would bring in. That they wouldn't necessarily want to parade through the main city streets.
Yeah, perfect.
It's still fairly guarded, and you notice that they are checking papers of people going through. But yeah, there's just kind of a tired looking guard chilling there. Actually,
male or female?
It's a male. He's actually a fairly familiar looking guard.
Darn. Oh, okay. So he would know me?
No, it's just you know him because you currently are borrowing his weapon.
Oh, beautiful! I approach him in line.
Okay. He looks up from his parchment and just goes, "All right, who's next?"
Hello, good sir. I believe this is yours. He presents the rapier.
Oh, you finally. And he takes it and he goes, and he takes it, kind of unsheathes it, and kind of inspects it up and down. He's like, did it serve you well? Did you what did you kill with it? Is there a good story?
Well, of course there's a good story. We were teleported away on that nasty ship. Seems it was under the control of some crazy member of the crew that had been mind controlled by God knows who. Well, we were going to find out who. We fought off his zombified crew only to find out that we were inside of a giant fog maelstrom conjured by none other than a giant Dracolich. You believe that?
He's staring wide-eyed. He's like,
let me make the persuasion. Hurry.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, actually, just go ahead and roll me a performance. Or if you want to do persuasion, but you're just basically enthralling him at this point.
Can I do it with advantage?
Yeah, I'd say you can do it with advantage. So you get advantage on this.
All right.
he is like almost he is hanging all your words. Like he's just this is what he'd hoped to find becoming a city guard, and instead he's guarding checkpoints and giving strangers his weapons. So he only gets to live vicariously through his adventures, taking his weapons apparently. So yeah, and he, as you're saying this, he's kind of like holding the blade and like almost reverently stroking it, like holy shit, like this thing is like seen all this, like I'm holding this weapon now. But yeah, no. So he listens on your tale, and after you've kind of spun it through, he's like, "Yeah, that's amazing. One of these days I'll make enough to leave this city and strike a tale of my own, and I'll do it with this blade here." And then he kind of looks sheepish. Once I can buy it off the guard, it's kind of a standard issue. But you understand my point. And he sheathes at his side.
Yep. And Alpin puts a hand on his shoulder and it says, "It's many more tales to tell, son. Hold it close." And then he walks by.
And the guard's just kind of looking off dreamily as you walk by, like almost imagining himself in this role. And by the time you've already walked by, he's like notices you've gone, kind of like double takes a little bit, panics a little bit, and just goes, "Well, you know what? Didn't see it." And just you hear him just shout, "Next!"
Stroking his fabled sword rapier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I lost my sword again. Delete that. Okay.
You don't need a handle on your sword, man.
You do have the
Oh, you
sword
got the
that
magic one.
Barnacle back on the ship gave you the
Is
magical the +1 cutlass.
Oh, is it +1? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
It's a cutlass +1.
But yeah. So
Would Alton know that, or?
I mean, you would know it's not like just a standard blade. It kind of has a magical like.
I'll get it. I'll get it identified somewhere.
Yeah. But all right. So yeah, you sneak through that entrance. And it's not very hard once you're in the nobles area because of just the size of the mansions as well as the fact they have large villas. You're able to very quickly pick up on the marching troop, as it were. And
Okay.
they proceed to Moriani. Are you going to try to get past the guards at all? What is your plan? As they are basically barring off any of the general populace from following.
Can I like kind of get myself into a place where I'm not really going to be noticed, and I want to use my wild shape and turn myself into a rat and then try to follow that way.
Risky.
Yeah, so you kind of like shirk back into an alleyway. Go ahead and roll me just a quick stealth check just to make sure you don't make too much of a ruckus attempting it.
I'm going to guidance myself. Ha ha ha.
All I
What
can
am I
imagine is the gift that was sent or whatever of like that bright light on Nimini. So it's like, I'm going to be stealthy. Boom! I'm really
This time I've got guidance.
This guy's via
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey.
there you go. So yeah,
Okay.
you slip into the shadows, just kind of pick an alleyway. Nobody even notices your disappearance, and no one ever will as a rat just ever so like stealthily creeps out, scurrying along the feet of the people. And with the commotion going on, the guards kind of trying to keep people back. You just slip right on by.
Yes. It worked, guys. I didn't fuck it up this time.
And the guidance worked. You were guided towards your destiny of being a rat, I guess, and sliding right past the guards. No, yeah, you slip on right on by, and you're able to keep up then. Kind of keeping towards the different edges and walls, keeping out of sight of the nobles who would probably take not take it well seeing a rat in the nobles' quarters.
Right.
But yeah, you keep towards the shadows and edges, and no one notices you at all.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. So yeah, and you'll notice that they start, and at that point as well, Absinthoss, I mean, you're let through the gates back to your noble's place without any issue.
Sounds good.
It's good to be a noble.
And as you pass through, as you kind of pass through the gates, you notice that Arestamore is waiting for you right outside. Because are you taking the main gate home, or are you taking one of the side gates?
Well, I probably would have taken the main gate.
Okay, so you'd have been behind the entourage as well. Probably a little bit further behind, I imagine, just kind of staying away from the general rabble of people like gawking and just following for the sake of something happening.
Mm-hmm.
But as you pass through the main gate, once you get past the guards and all that, Arestamore is waiting on the other side of the gate, kind of right along the wall. And as you pass through, he just slides up next to you as you're walking, and just gives you kind of. He doesn't really say anything. He's just walking alongside you, with a bit of a smirk on his face.
Well, if I'd known that sooner, well, it's a shame he'll probably be imprisoned. Not really, but, shame.
I wouldn't call it a shame, boy. Plans in motion that have been set are finally taking action.
I don't understand why his arrest would set a plan in motion. He's just going to prison. So what?
You forget your time as a noble, then. The noble's court is normally harsh on those of the lower class in trying to stage a murder against nobility. Especially since this will be held only amidst the nobles. The king not need get involved in the matter of a noble's discourse.
As far as I'm concerned, it's just maintaining a status quo in that case. He'll get tried, he'll get convicted guilty. Maybe there'll be a few more patrols in the lower districts.
However, they will leave the matter of punishment to my lord's house. However, we have an arrangement, and I will see to it personally that he is dealt with. The lines will end, and the red moon will shine once more.
The red moon. That will be the day. You see Astoth's kind of look gleefully looking up towards Arestamore. See your plan.
It is not just my plan, boy. This is a plan that has been set in motion from the elders long, long ago. I am merely but a tool, a means to an end.
I'm laughing so hard trying to suppress the phrase tool.
What are you giggling about, boy?
Oh no, I'm giggling about how much suffering the blue one's gonna have to go through. Some poetic justice in a way.
Oh, it won't be much suffering at all. I do not desire torture or suffering. I desire merely the end result of removing or disrupting the line. The time draws close. Surely you've seen it out in the docks. The Harbinger himself is back. The time of the red moon will shine. This is what I've seen, and I hope to bring about. I plan to bring about.
Do you foresee yourself ultimately, suppose we see all ourselves annihilated as we should, once that moon fully rises?
Annihilated, yes, but reborn. Reborn in the world anew. And those that were loyal to the Purge will see their new roles, the new utopia on the other side.
Well, that is a day cannot wait to see.
If you serve loyally, of course.
It's more of a matter of when. After all, it is inevitable.
Of course. Inevitable. Yes. Where are you well, son, lord of, my brain is dying. Noble
Cover
house.
mines. What'd you say again?
Your noble house.
Leviathan?
Leviathan.
Right.
Don't worry, I forgot what the Arrestor's house was. So I don't.
Where am I?
The house
Where
Rosen-
am I?
Yeah. Where are you well, noble of your family's? Yes. And do not think that I do not have my eye on you. You too are one of the descendants. This I know. But if you truly wish to bring about the utopia, the true beginning from the end, then it is time to put that faith to the test.
So 2 down, 4 to go.
In a way. I will be seeing you then in court.
Most certainly. I cannot wait.
And he proceeds forward, kind of at a faster pace, heading towards the Rosencrantz house.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I'm walking straight back home because I need A, the armor fitted, B, I need to talk to a special someone.
Ma'am.
Not mom!
I need court presence. Now.
Yeah, I want the cheesy poops.
No, kitty, you can't have any.
Oh my God.
Anderos, or what's it called? Absinthe is familiar is now a kitty. Is this what we're...
I mean, cats are pretty devilish, so.
But yeah, anyway, Anderos, you are being kind of, again, escorted through the noble grounds, and they're actually taking you towards the back, where, like near closer to the palace grounds,
Okay.
where where the dungeons would be kept, kind of in a spot between both the king's quarter, like the king's castle, and the edge of the nobles' land.
Sure.
But are you saying or doing anything in this meantime, or are you just silently being?
Yeah, he's walking along. He's getting the sights. Obviously, this is a nicer area of town. He's winking at a couple of the passerbys. Seeing what reaction he gets.
A mix of, some are revolted and some are, some just kind of give you almost like a coy, like they're interested, but not necessarily. You get the feeling from kind of a lower class, well, from having that knowledge of a little bit of a lower class, as well as a little bit of your family's history, as well, that they look at you almost with with that view of interest, because they're trying to think of how they could use the situation to their advantage.
Yeah, he just kind of.
It's no mystery that there's basically a noble's court case coming up, and they're all kind of. There's a lot of bouncing back and forth between the nobles of, where are they going to stand in this?
Oh, yay, something to break up the tedium of being rich and powerful. Oh.
So, Bolton, where are we going there?
Why, you're going straight to your new home. Deep underground in a tiny little cell.
Oh, come on now, really? Underground? Surely that's not how you treat a hero. You got me the right cuffs? At least get me a comfy cell.
As he kind of glares at you, you see that the traces of your magic still kind of flicker, kind of almost
Winks at
flicker
him.
as, yeah. And he goes, well, I suppose you're not wrong. All right, we'll give him the newly refurbished cell.
Is it overlook the water? I do like the sea now.
No, we don't have any overwater cells, unfortunately. And as they drag you, as they march you along closer towards, you see like this large, like gate portcullis setup, which you could only imagine leads to the king's castle. As you see that kind of looming ahead of you at the end of the nobles' court area, you notice a large, very fortified-looking structure that's partially built into the wall. It is just a large, like rectangle in shape. Barred windows are high up in the edges of it, as well as several guards patrol the edges of it, as well on the roof of it. And as they escort you in, you're immediately taken to a small room with guards on each side, quickly patted down for weapons, to which they do remove. I think you had a dagger on you, right?
Yeah, I think I've got like a dagger and his quarterstaff, but that was probably taken earlier. So
Yeah. So they do take those weapons off of you, kind of give the thumbs up, and then through a side door lead you down a long descending spiral staircase to down to the first level. Again, I have any of this drawn. I apologize. But they bring you down to this floor, open up the door, and lead you to a row of cells. Initially, he stops at one cell, and then again, you kind of see him pause for a moment as the effects of your magic still hang over him, and he seems to think twice and lead you down further towards the edge of the cells, where there's a bit of a nicer looking cell. Like it seems like this was added on, like dug out freshly and built recently, and actually has a cot instead of just a rotted straw mattress, like just scattered about the floor. It's actually got a nice, like a cot there, and it's kind of a corner cell. And as he opens it up, kind of escorts you in, doesn't push you in. He thinks better of it as a hero's welcome, and locks the door. We lost.
Did we lose somebody?
Rickbot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And escorts you in.
And it's back. Okay.
Hey, you're not wrong. This is a pretty nice place. Can't say I've really graced a prison before, but that could be worse, right?
Quite. It'd be quite worse. But, be that as it may, your trial will be, I believe it's being held tomorrow evening, so, for the time being, do enjoy yourself in our wonderful hospitality here in the cells.
You see,
we have a wall staring at 1, another wall staring at 2, maybe some wailing at 3, and maybe a prisoner beating at 4. Though probably not you unless you decide to cause an issue.
Listen, Bolton. Listen, I know you're just doing your job, so no hard feelings, right? Kind of pats him on the cheek.
He kind of seems a little revolted by you just touching him there, and then he jumps back. He's like, oh, "Don't touch me! You may be a hero and all, but no touchy."
I understand. Sorry, breaking boundaries again. Like I said, no hard feelings. Appreciate the place. It's well for what it is. That's what we'll do.
He just kind of spits at your feet near the cell. He's like, "Blue devils," and turns, like, clicks his heel and kind of turns sharply and starts proceeding to leave you in the cell.
As soon as he's out of sight, you see Anderos kind of start looking, and he starts like, 1, 2, all right, I got 10 there. Starts kind of like pulling off a boot. He's like, everything's good down there. Pulls his, yep, that's a lot smaller than I remember. Well, kind of. It's like he's reacquainting himself with this body that he has not had for a while.
So I have a question about following him when you get a chance, Alti.
Sure.
So I imagine that I would have seen them take Andros into the castle?
It's not the castle. It's a building that's built into the walls leading towards the castle. So there's that outer ring.
Okay.
Like it would be.
It's like a keep.
The entrance that I saw them, because I wouldn't have followed them obviously up to that door, but the door itself is, this is the jail type door.
Yeah, it's whoever marked that orange spot is kind of the closest there. It's just
the person that took the necklace off of his neck. I'm after that necklace. Did I see him go in as well?
Arestamor? No.
Mm-hmm.
Arestamor, you would have lost sight because he actually waited near the main entrance and met up with Absinthos, and afterward he went back to House Leopold.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have necessarily caught him if you were following the entourage going through the side entrance, because by the time you would have gone that route, Leopold would have talked to Absinthos and heading towards that house.
So I took note of that they went into the city dungeon, and then I'm leaving.
Okay. You heading back where you came, or are you heading towards anyone else?
I think you should go through the round of other people first, because I have a lot of options and I need to think about it.
Okay. I was just curious to see if you knew. All right.
First of all, would I have been able to make it into the cell? As I was following.
Ooh.
Because what I might do next kind of depends on that.
Let me get back to that, because
I notice a rat as I'm leaving.
Let me get back to that, because that may play into something else. That may change a few things. So before we go into that, let's go ahead and see what everyone else is doing, just to kind of catch everyone else up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everyone's kind of on the same, because I know Evian and Thamor, you guys were kind of following behind as well. What do you do when you actually get to the gate, to the main, like the gates to the nobles' quarter? Because that's kind of where you lose track again as well, and you were still further behind than everyone else. So at this
Evian
point,
was actually looking for another sewer entrance that would lead down to the so-called whisper that Alton mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll me investigation, though you.
So she's basically looking for anything that might indicate something odd for an entrance, even though it may be similar to leading into the sewers. So
go ahead and roll me investigation. It'll be a slightly harder DC, just because.
Oh, okay.
It is, you are trying to find the Rogues Guild specifically, but in kind of a roundabout way.
Okay. Investigation, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, 19.
19, not bad.
That works.
I'll see what I can get to.
And Thamor, what are you doing, Thamor, while Evian's looking?
Also looking
for like sewers, or?
Yeah, sewers.
All right.
14 to 13, not bad, actually.
I will say that I was gonna potentially give you disadvantage, at least for a little while, on your investigation and perception, seeing as your eye is now completely. Your eye is looking through the nose hole of your helmet.
Don't worry, it's vertical slats. Luckily, it wasn't horizontal slats.
But okay, so yeah, Evian, Thamor, you don't really find anything out of the ordinary looking through the back alley. Evian, kind of going off what Alton had mentioned about there, even being this thieves guild potentially operating in the area, you kind of start hunting around the back alleys, like poking around a little bit, and using a little bit of just your general like ranger tracking as well. You start seeing like footprints, like muffled scuffled up footprints, coming from what would normally be a dead end. As you kind of like peer closer, following these tracks, and they seemingly just originate from a wall, like what would be a stone wall. You poke around a little bit and find that the stones are not as thick or as solid as they seem, and in fact, as you push on the wall, you feel a facade. like a small cutout facade, and as you trace along the edges, you can feel that there is indeed like a fake wall put up that would potentially lead somewhere.
Hmm.
And you are in this point, you'd be kind of not necessarily close to the wall, kind of more in between.
Okay. She's gonna hold back a little bit because she's like kind of like thinking back during her time as being being part of a mercenary group. She, she stumbled upon her traps and so on and stuff like that. So having that a little bit of knowledge, she's gonna fall back, look at Thamor, and kind of motion to him, but kind of like almost silently to where he's close enough to whisper to him and be like, "Okay, this seems to be it. I play your cards right. Just don't do anything stupid." So, and she's actually gonna what? She's actually gonna take one of her ball bearings and see if she can shoot through this little, like if she pushes a little bit to the side of this fake wall, see if anything triggers once she shoots the ball bearing through.
What are you shooting the ball bearing with?
Like her finger and her thumb.
Oh, you're just flicking. Okay. I was like,
Okay.
are we inventing guns? Is that what's
No.
happening here?
No.
Okay. You just kind of fling it. I mean, it kind of strikes the facade with a dull like thunk,
Mm-hmm.
and then just clatters to the ground.
Okay. Um. And kind of like, okay, there was no other responding sound, just that thunk. Okay.
Mhm.
She's gonna kind of like stick to the side and a little bit push the door further, push this wall a little bit inwards to see if
Mhm.
that triggers anything.
No. As you kind of push on the facade, um, I mean, it doesn't swing. So as you push on it, it doesn't really give. It's just you kind of feel like you're pushing against a thin wall. If that makes sense.
Okay.
But it's not swinging or opening.
Okay. She'll look to Thamor and she's like, "Are you able to? You're strong enough, lad. If once I look you over a little bit, hey, dear, can you push this wall to the side? Stay on the side if you can."
I can give it a try. And he's going to go up to the wall and attempt to push it to the side, like slide it along. Can he do that?
Are you just sliding or trying to like pull it out, or how are you?
Let's try pulling out and sliding.
All right, go ahead and just roll me a strength check.
Skills, unskilled, strength check. There we go. Almost rolled an unskilled intelligence check.
As you kind of try to like pull and move it, you don't feel like it's really budging, though you are kind of damaging the frame. But you do feel. Best to describe it. You do feel like it's being held in place from the other side, like almost as if there's like a bar on the other side.
Okay, out of the way. And he's going to take a step back and charge it with the halberd.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll.
Oh no.
Breaking into the Thieves Guild. This can only go well.
Yeah, so you kind of take a few steps back, lower your halberd, and charge forward. Your halberd, immediately pierces through this facade, and you go barreling through, and you hear a sharp crack as wood splinters, and a wooden plank that had been used to keep the facade fixed in place, is immediately just shatter off of its its hinges, like holsters, and just topples this thing down. and it comes crashing down on the other side. And what you're met with in this, after it crashes down, is a very small little room. It's just this tiny little room built into the side of basically was a building at this point, as well as a trap door on the floor below you, beneath the facade, partially now broken and mangled.
Doors open.
I can see that. I wish you didn't have to take out with the halberd. A kick would be nice, but I guess
If they
this will
didn't want
work.
it broken, they wouldn't have put it in my way.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, and you said there was like that trap door. You said is underneath that now taken down door.
Yeah,
Door?
I mean, how Thamor just toppled the door on top of it, but it's like broken in many places and cut through because he rammed it with a halberd. So you can see the trapdoor underneath it, but there's just scraps of the facade piece still on top,
Okay.
but easily brushed
And
away if wished.
can she do like a quick perception check to see if there's any kind of kind of like peepholes or anything like that could be obscured to see where someone is hiding within this room?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception.
Yeah, 16. Not too bad. Not too bad.
As the dust kind of settles and you're looking in the room, you do notice, just kind of amidst the debris, you notice that the trap door beneath, like where the thing fell, you notice a very, like, from looking at it directly, you wouldn't see it. Blurred in very well with the wood. But if you kind of shift your angle a little bit, you do see a angled hole cut out into the trap door.
Mm-hmm.
Not particularly giant in diameter, but large enough that someone could potentially see through or potentially aim a crossbolt through.
Okay. And there's no other entrance besides this trapdoor, correct?
Nope.
Okay. So keeping that peephole open, she's like, okay, I see this little game going on here. It doesn't matter. All right. Are you all ready to see what's going on beyond this door there, Thamor?
Let's go on down.
Agreed. So she, keeping her head away from the peephole, she's actually gonna push away the scattered pieces of the broken door and like pull full force with the trapdoor wide open.
Okay.
And see who's like kind of like in there by keeping her head back away to see, in case something pops out of it.
Yep. I mean, as you fling it open, it reveals a dark, like cellar-like passageway going down with a ladder, and you are immediately hit with a very revolting stench. As the smells and vapors of the sewer are very strong in this particular location.
Yep.
But you don't
Isn't
see
it?
any people or humanoids waiting.
Okay. So even keeping that in mind, she'll keep alert, and she kind of like, even though she's like scrunching up her face a little bit at the smell, but she kind of like exhales like a very deep breath before looking to Thamor and giving him a nod before actually just jumping straight down through the hole.
Okay. You land with a bit of a wet splash, landing into the ankle deep waters beneath you, the sewer waters. It's pretty foul smelling down there. Staying down here for too long, you imagine, would probably be pretty offensive to the senses unless you want to roll me. Actually, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw and see how well you're handling.
Okay.
All right, it's making you a bit sick to the stomach, but you're holding up.
Okay.
As you kind of land, it's dark, and you just see a long stretch of sewer ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and roll me a perception as well, just to see what you see.
Okay. Hey.
Hey, all right. Well, there you go. Yeah. So as you jump down, your eyes very quickly adjusting to these dark situations and kind of looking about you. You're almost like fighting instinct is just kind of taken over at this point. You're your time as a mercenary, your time as a hunt, like being a ranger. This is not necessarily the sewer being your element, but just this living in this state of hunt. And as you look further down the tunnel or down the sewer, you see like a bunch of broken boxes, a bunch of broken like stuff, but you do see a shining, a bit of a glint of metal, and you see a small halfling crouched, trying to hide behind broken bits of pallet and crate, aiming a crossbolt your direction.
Oh,
Though he hasn't made a move yet.
Okay. Evan is kind of like, even though her eyes are on it, she's actually gonna not even gonna draw any weapons, and she's like, "Well, I guess we do have a friend down here. Makes things so much easier. Please, if you don't mind, I would like to talk to you."
Who are you and what's your business?
I would like to talk with the woman. Whisper. If you don't mind. As for who my name is.
Here.
Did I ever tell people that her name was Whisper?
You did.
You did, yeah.
You did to Evian. Evian pretty much went through your insight and you told her, yeah, you talked to a woman named Whisper.
Oh, okay.
oh
You did
no.
mention Whisper. You mentioned some detail of the Thieves Guild, and I think you mentioned Grog, and you mentioned, I don't remember if you mentioned calling yourself a nameless one or not, or faceless one.
I definitely would not have done that.
Okay.
No.
I don't think you mentioned
you
that.
mentioned
I don't even
Whisper.
remember saying that I did what you said I just did, but okay.
She interrogated you for why you
Yeah.
weren't there.
Yeah, you did
That's
spill
part-
some stuff to Evian that I do remember.
Wonderful.
You mentioned Whisper, and you mentioned the crown quest.
So that being
Uh-oh.
said, I would like to talk to Whisper, but as for my name, let's address it under Shadowthorn.
I don't know no Shadowthorn, but if you know Whisper's name, damn it, I made this mistake before. He kind of like stands up and brushes himself off, but he still kind of keeps a wary eye on you. He's like, all right, fine. I will let them deal with it this time. I'm not gonna get in trouble again. And he just kind of like motions for you to follow.
But before I go, can my friend come down as well? There's just one other person, that's all. No trouble. Of course, we do apologize for breaking down your door, but he was getting impatient.
He looks just astoundingly confused at this point because he's just there. Who the hell apologizes and tries to see Whisper? Weird folk. Okay. Not teach me this. All right, go. Fine, bring him down. I'm still watching both y'all, and I got friends too. He just kind of motions to the general area around him. I got friends too, so don't go trying anything funny.
No funny.
But of course,
business
if you're one of them, then I apologize in advance. But and deepest respect to you, but no funny business.
here. Of course. Dame Ordinaire, you can calm down now.
Okay, move out of the way. And he's
Of
gonna.
course.
His real name.
How dare you use my real name?
But granted, Thamor thinks everyone should treat him as a god, so I imagine that's just going to be what is told anyway.
So Evan is gonna like just walk up a little bit, give it a little bit of space, and out of the splash zone, and just be like, kind of like right next to the halfling, and kind of like giving him a little wink as she waits for Thamor to get down.
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump on down.
All right, with a just loud like splash and bang as you just hit the water, spraying it around you. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw as well, because even through your helmet, this sewer.
And
All right, yeah.
His nose is in his eye.
Your nose is a little bit. Your nose is a.
How long is he gonna be stuck like this?
Only Plank knows.
Only Plunk, no.
We must visit Plunk at some point.
And thus Thamor's mission to just attack the Plank to fucking take on a deity. No, anyway,
I will
so
become.
yeah, you land like superhero landing, this massive frame, and the poor little halfling just kind of shirks back and brings up his crossbow immediately out of fear, and just,
no funny business. No
I
funny
put it
business,
down if
she
I were
said.
you.
He's a
Thamor,
big
we have
180.
fun. Yes,
That's a big
yes,
one.
yes, but don't worry. He's such a friendly teddy bear. Don't worry about him.
He kind of like motions to you, Thamor, and you just put the crossbow a little bit. You a relative of Grog's?
Not that I know of.
I don't know who Grog is. I want to meet him though.
He has a strong jaw.
Last name?
Well, one character knows Grog. But yeah. He goes, all right, yeah, follow me. I'll see if I can get someone out to Whisper. She's a very busy person, you know. Got a lot of work to do, especially ever since the other faceless one came by and got everyone up in a work. She's been nothing but work, and he's muttering to himself as he's just starts making his way down the sewers. It takes you kind of along it takes you along a straight path down the sewers. It's dark for the majority of it, and he seems to not pay much mind to it. And as he goes further and further down, a small light starts to kind of form at the end. Kind of what starts as a small little glow, and as you get closer, you notice that around a corner to the right, more of that glow starts to illuminate the area as you reach a ramshackled like collection of a wooden structure put together with different just tables and just things piled up to make a small little base of operations, to which you do see, he leads you to, there's the couple other members of the guild seem to be milling about, and as they see you all approach, they immediately try and go for their weapons, and then they see the little halfling just raise his hands up and go, no, it's another group to see Whisper. And they all very slowly lower their weapons. Again, they're kind of wary and keep an eye on you guys. And he goes, all right, you all make yourselves feel comfortable. I'll go try and find Whisper. And again, he kind of just motions to like the general cluster of boxes and stuff that serve as tables for this group. And he starts heading up towards the ladder. And again, as he heads up, he turns sharply again. And no funny business. You got that, guys? They make any weird movements. No funny business. And he starts ascending the ladder. We'll follow up with you guys in a little bit then. All right. So we go back to, we'll catch up quickly then with Zidane. You made your way over to the Adventurers Guild. As you approach the Adventurers Guild, heading in, you see that it's fairly late. Well, not fairly late, but it's starting to get late. Most of the patrons have kind of either turned in or they're in their last cups. You don't see Dordan or his tiefling wife to be around. You do see Kazim, however, behind the desk. And he notices you, and his face kind of lights up a bit. Hey, welcome back. Where's the rest of your group?
About that, is Gorvin around?
I can go check. Last I saw, he had just finished giving some newcomers a bit of the intros and getting a few things sorted. Let me go check. And he hops over the counter and nervously heads up the stairs. Still not quite used to here, but I'll make it. You hear him knock a little bit. You don't really hear the exchange going on up there, but after a few lines, you see him kind of rush back downstairs, and Dorvin appears at the top of the stairs. At first, he's kind of got a grin on his face as he looks down, and he goes, "Oh, where's the rest of your party?"
Zidane has a grim expression on, and
Seen that look before, lad. It's not a good look for an adventuring group.
well,
All right, are we planning a burial? Are we planning a funeral? Are we planning an escape? Are we planning a... what are we planning?
well, hopefully we can smooth things over. The good news is we took care of the ship that came back, the one that was haunted or whatever the townsfolk was calling it. It was one of it had been waylaid at sea, and the captain had been turned mad and possessed or possessed by a necromantic. Anyways, there's a Dracolich that chased us before we got back. That's not exactly important as to why. No, everyone came back. Let me start again. We came into the harbor, and Barnacle, who isn't actually Barnacle, that's another story. He was arrested for something that we didn't exactly do. The Leopolds, there was a mission when we were taking care of that quest posted, the
Tilbrook.
original one.
The missing shopkeep, yeah.
Yes, the missing shopkeep. We had undertaken another job to find an artifact for House Leopold, and for whatever reason, Barnacle is being has been taken away in irons to the noble's court, and everyone is apparently doing something in their own way to help him. I'm the only one that is here before you. I'm not exactly sure what to do other than try to inform you on what's happening to one of your guild members before trying to find Father Riel next.
He kind of does a huge oh boy, and strokes a bit of his hair back, and as he comes down the stairs, Kazim boy, bring out a couple drinks. We're gonna need. And he kind of heads on, saunters over to an open table, one of the ones off in the corner, like the ones that normally reserved for the higher-ranking officers, and kind of motions for you to come sit with him. As Kazim rushes quickly to go bring drinks. Getting tangled in the affairs of nobles is a dangerous job, lad. I mean, some of the quests we post are at the behest of nobles, but they're usually through official channels, so we have, sanctity of the king in those matters. An unofficial request, however, I'm afraid there's not a lot we can do in that regard. I mean, what exactly did they arrest him for?
Dropping a chandelier on one of their family friends.
He stares, takes a drink, stares, takes one more drink.
Zidane reaches over, apologetically for the mug, or was there's a he shotguns a couple of drinks of his own. Yeah,
That's not looking good for your friend, boy. Oh boy.
the The issue, though, is while that may have occurred, there's other forces and foul play going on. His name is Arestamor.
I've heard of the one. Darn fool is always trying to pass, try and get conscription set up here and through off channels. Rather shady. Oh, I don't know. I wish I could help. I mean, I'll try to I'll try to attend the proceedings, but as much as I love our company here, we don't have a whole lot of power amongst the nobles court. Unless you got some kind of he kind of just looks around a little bit, some kind of plan in motion or something we could requisition a few seasoned adventurers for, but nothing, of course, against the law. He gives you a hearty wink.
Yeah, Zidane looks down at the table and clenches a fist. I don't know. Father Riel, he has a little bit of say in the affairs of the nobles, so I was hoping to track him down after, well, at least I know that there's a sympathetic ear.
You
I
always
have a
have
feeling that you've
human
had this
nature.
happen in your days as well.
Well, I can't say I've dropped a chandelier on a noble and gone to court for it. But I am marrying a... Well, I'm not going to say succubus. But he winks at you. She's damn near close. With all the benefits. But anyway, I digress.
Oh my god.
If a half-reptilian humanoid could blush.
But I digress. Alright. Look, I'll try and ask around. I still got a few friends. A few nobles, potentially, who still put their services through correctly through the proper channels. But it's a tough case. We'll try. The nobles' court is ruthless. The only way to really win is either have power and money on your side or get enough of the court to follow you, or he kind of just shrugs. To get the king's attention. If the king escalates it to a higher court order, then you get the king's ear, and the king has always been more so friendly towards adventurers like us. Politics ain't my world, son. I fight monsters. I do good deeds.
Well, even just checking in, that's more than I had hoped for. Thank you.
I'll do what I can. He owes me another round of drinks, though.
I'm pretty sure that he'd oblige. It's at least you could do.
Just reaches over and kind of pats you on the shoulder, tries to give you kind of a reassuring smile and nod, and immediately kind of goes into thought as he pulls out a parchment, just kind of starts scribbling. I'll get to work trying to dig up some old friends of mine.
All right. I don't suppose you've seen Riel yourself recently?
Not since the last time you brought him in.
All right. Hopefully he's at his garden on the walls. Right? And he takes the rest of his mug and a little bit slower now, just glugs it down and pushes his chair backwards. All right, well, time's of the essence. I'll hopefully be able to round everyone up to come back here and
I look forward.
pray to the keeper that nobody does anything especially stupid.
Aye, lad, but several situations have been escaped by, well, sometimes the stupid of courses of actions. I mean, I'm still here today because of a lot of them. I don't recommend any of them. And he just kind of gives you a nod. And he's like, I look forward to another party here. Everyone involved.
Zidane smiles, and then with a little dip of his head and deference, he turns and finds his. We need to come up with an actual name for the name is Shinari, but like I don't know, Leaf Wolf, Vine Wolf was what we came up with before. His companion.
Call what you will.
He
You could
calls
just
up
name-
Shinari, the plant-like wolf, and rides off towards the garden on the walls where Riel hopefully is. And I suppose either next person on the round or
Okay. Yep. Unfortunately, that's how we're gonna have to do it since everyone kind of split up. So that would be Absinthoss,
Oh
I
boy.
think, since you had the slight conversation and now you're quickly hop over to you. As you kind of return to your estate. Of course, the guards let you by. Real issue, and you find that the house is like entering the foyer. You don't see. You don't really see anyone kind of around.
Is this abnormal or normal?
No, it's later in the day, and I mean, no one really announced your coming, so or
That's
your
fine.
coming was not announced, and no one's really waiting for you.
That's fine. Sneaking in is my style. Well, I guess it's off to find mom.
Are you just gonna look around the house for her? Or are you gonna try and like ask an attendant, or what's
Ask
the?
an attendant. This is just the
Okay.
fastest way.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna necessarily.
Mhm.
They'll let you know that your mother's actually out for the evening,
I
but your
didn't know.
father is there.
Daddy.
Damn it. You're responsible ones here. This will work. This will work fine. I guess I'll ask for father.
Okay. The attendant just bows, of course, and heads off. A few minutes pass. A few more minutes pass. A few more minutes pass.
The trickster. For once, I wanted a responsible conversation. I guess I'll have to delay that one till she comes back.
And as you finally figure you're going to give up and potentially leave or look around, he finally enters. He kind of strides in, coming from the upper floors, just kind of aloof. He's just kind of watching the ceiling, kind of looking around and spotting you almost as if he didn't really expect you to actually be there. About time you're home. If you had announced you're coming, I would have welcomed you properly.
Fashionably late as usual. Father.
Sorry?
Fashionably late as usual, father. Well,
Ah,
I guess I'll take up after you for that.
but you see, my boy, when it is about me, I am never really late, am I? I'm always right on time when I chose to be. I am only late in your perception of me being late.
It's Gandalf. It's Gandalf.
I believe I heard a wizard story about that. It was a good story you told me when I was younger. Perhaps I should read it again.
Ah, yes. I think I left out some very important detail. The extended story it took too long to read, and you fell asleep long before it ended.
Could you imagine if they made a play out of it? It'd be so long.
And you see kind of just ponder, staring at the ceiling. Could be my next big venture.
Ew. I know the people in the lower sections would love such a story.
Oh, he doesn't even hear you. As you're talking, he's actually starts waving over to attendant and starts motioning for them. Jot this down. A play, but involving a bunch of... And he starts just going on to the attendant.
Good job.
Do you know where Mother is by any chance?
And he kind of turns as he finishes conversing with the attendant, taking his notes. He kind of turns to you and say, "The who? What now?"
Oh, you know, the lady that you married many years ago.
Right. Where is she?
Hi,
Jesus Christ! Wow.
You know, just let some of the attendants know that I'm looking for her, and well, perhaps we can fire up the anti-magic gazebo.
The anti-magic gazebo.
I was imagining a gazebo for some reason.
Deploy the anti-magic gazebo.
But when I had
your way to say that.
Whatever the night conversation room I had with Arestamore, right after he tried to murder us, was called.
I will see to it. An attendant gets right on that. I never really liked that field very much. Gives me the tinglies. But how have you been, son? I've not really seen you much. Your mother speaks of you. Though I did hear a little rumor that you brought a particularly important guest home. Now,
what did your rumor
I know we
tell
haven't
you?
had any like father-son talk on the subject, and well, the others you usually bring home end up,
Yeah, I know. He kind of points over to the halberd on the back. Yeah, not this one.
And then he kind of like he just sits he sits down on the nearby like couch, legs crossed, and motions for an attendant to like fetch beverage. Do tell.
Oh well, you see, when I joined the Adventurers Guild, I met. Oh man, there's a lot of people. Lots of things have happened recently. Anyways, there was one nice Calvinish gal. I thought she was kind of cute. So try to get the blessing. Marriage is a complicated subject. You know how most of the noble ladies are. They're nice people, but they have the personality of a blank piece of paper. Except Mother. Mother is an exception rather than the rule, and I don't think there's another one of her.
Oh, let's hope not.
Anyways, she recognized her as a person, and we'll just leave it at that.
That is truly an astounding feat for your mother. I'm still working on getting that to be more of a constant thing. Huh.
Yeah, well, it could be like Grandma. Grandma's always really nice. Grandpa. You ever heard Grandpa speak?
Can't say I have.
Well,
I usually just talk for him, though. It's kind of more fun that way. You should try it.
Is a little bit puzzled at the face.
Oh, it's just a silly little game I used to play. I'll teach it to you sometime, or I'll have one of the attendants teach it to you. I'll He waves over for one of the attendants. Make sure you remind me to remind you to teach him to play that game. You got it? And how about the tea? You gonna bring the tea? Good. Yes, that kind.
Well,
You were saying?
I suppose one more question related to the anti-magic gazebo. Will I be able to talk to her as he kind of Absalom points to the halberd again? Or does the anti-magic field prevent that communing?
I won't. It doesn't prevent the communing, but she has been rather silent of late, I guess. She usually just leaves me messages. I don't get to really converse as much as I used to, but it makes it easier this way. Kind of, almost like leaving a searing, burning note in the back of my mind. Really wakes one up in the morning.
Well, it's a risk I'm willing to take. That, and he pulls out the, I don't know, crab brain? Whatever I pulled out of the lobster.
Do crabs have a brain?
Do they?
You just salvaged its tentacles, if I remember correctly. Like you were reversing.
Yeah, I was salvaging a tentacle. Well,
so the crab might not have a brain, but it's got tentacles. Got it.
Hey. Well,
I mean, after what Evian did to it, I don't know if it would have one.
If anything, she exposed the brain because it was a bear trap and then rip.
So she laid it bare?
Oh, God.
Keep it coming.
She helped to leave a hairy situation.
Anywho, once that's set up, I must risk it, both for her sake as well as mine. And I just have the intuition that this. Oh yeah, I should tell you about that. We were on a boat. The boat teleported because there was some arcane magic user teleported us. So halfway, basically into the middle of the ocean, there's some kind of maelstrom guarding it. And well, would you believe of a Draco Lich? You know that fast. You know, it was one of the stories that you told me. It's like a skeleton dragon. And, anyways, it might be the end of the world.
Where have I heard that one before? Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. Your mother says it's going to be the end of the world if I miss this event. It'll be the end of the world if I don't go to that event. It'll be the end of the world if I don't complete X amount of, daily duties.
Oh, no, this one...
As far as I'm concerned, it's the end of the world every day. But tell me more of this boat. I like the boat. How did it teleport? That sounds fast. Like, could you imagine the sheer amount of fishing you could do with a teleporting boat?
Right? Right?
This guy is an absolute wrong.
My family is not very functional, if you can't tell.
Oh, there is functionality. It's just it leaked out. It's not being provided by this guy.
Yes, well, I'd imagine it'd probably be a little expensive considering all the sigilling you would need to do on it, and you have to find all the good fishing spots, and
right. That sounds like a lot of work. Well, I'll get back to that. So, what about this whole adventure anyway?
Well, we were attacked by some kind of aberrations, I guess is the best descriptor, and I was able to salvage one of its tentacles. Kind of squirms. I can imagine it kind of squirms a little if I push it, because tentacles kind of do that. Like you put salt on like a tentacle, it'll move a little.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't shake the feeling that this will be an interesting experiment with this.
Culinary experiment or like sacrificial experiment or... Well, I'm not going to question anything else.
It's a little bit of A, a little bit of B. I don't know. I feel like if I could just see what it saw, it'll be something a unique perspective for her, pointing back to the halberd.
Hmm.
Something that would be...
It is indeed an interesting thought. Ooh.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a huge off
Okay.
nod. Yes. Like, heck, maybe I'll be able to actually speak to Grandpa with this.
Good luck with that.
Hey, anything's possible. Perhaps I
That
can
is
read
true.
your mind.
Well, when you do, let me know, because I'm still trying to decipher some of those memories I'd forgotten yesterday. I think. I'll get back. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I... I've got a lot of... You've given me a lot of thought, a lot of things to decipher.
No, I guess if you see Mother, just let her know I'm wanting to talk to her, preferably in the gazebo, and I guess I'll try communing.
Yes, you do your communing thing, and then I'll let Mother know. Okay. All right, that's everything. I am due for my tea. The attendant darn thing has not come back with it. Did I tell her to go get the tea? I may not have told her to get the tea.
Green
You know
leaf
what?
or a different kind?
I was gonna go with the Earl Grey this time. It just felt like that kind of a night. Now, like, excuse me, I need to go hunt me down some tea. And he just gets up and just wanders off.
I kind of want some tea now.
Yeah, this might be a good point for me to change scene as I'm walking towards the gazebo.
Yep. We will hop back over to Marani's attempt.
I would get along so well with Father.
You would.
Oh no.
So much trouble, and it would be amazing. Anyway, continue.
Oh, good. Marani. So yeah, you were falling behind when Anderos was led into this cell, and you notice, or into this prison chamber, and you notice that it's got very tight security going in. Trying to sneak past into the room with them would be difficult. You could try to roll stealth if you want to try and go in, but I will leave it up to you what you want to try to do, or if you want to look around the building, or what your plan is.
From the cell where Anderos is.
Well, from outside, you initially before you even get to the cell, because the entryway going into, like, he went into like a heavy door in this building, was inspected, and then brought down a set of stairs. But you didn't see the stairs. But
Side
he was first
or
brought in for inspection.
am I inside or am I still outside?
You're still outside. Like, I meant, you saw him get pulled in there, and I was curious as to how you were going to try and follow.
Okay. Can I look around and see if there's like a window I could climb up to, or like a hole in the wall that I can sneak through? Just some way that I would be able to get into the building without having to actually go through a group of people.
Yeah, there. Like I said, higher up on the walls, there are a bunch of cut windows with iron bars.
Mm-hmm.
Normally too small for people to go through, but you might be able to squeeze through as a rat.
Could I climb up to one?
Go ahead and roll me a athletics.
I'm good at those.
I think you have to use the rat statistics.
No, I keep my stats as I recall. Hold on, let me pull up my wild. I'm pretty sure I retain my stats.
I thought you retained the mental, but not the physical?
Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's the mental capacities you keep, but the physical attributes are that of the creature, I think.
Druidic, wild shape. Your statistics are replaced by the beast, but you retain alignment, personality, intelligence, wisdom, charisma.
Okay, so what modifier would I roll with my rat then?
The athletics is, I believe, strength based, so you would roll. I don't know if rats
-4. Ugh.
Oh well, mine is -1 anyway. So
When you wild shape, you keep the beast's physical stats and you keep your personal mental stats.
I gotcha. Okay, so it would be a minus. It would be a -1 modifier then, right?
Well, it has a strength of 2. unless we're looking at a different rat.
Which rat is
Oh.
it? Is it standard rat or is it a different type of rat?
I was just
Looking-
going standard rat.
Yeah, it is a 2 strength, which is a -4
Oh, Jesus
modifier.
Christ. Okay.
You could go. Well, if you could try scrambling up that way, or I guess we could say, because you could do that, or you could do acrobatics to try and like shimmy your way up. Since I guess rats wouldn't necessarily be trying to just climb.
Right.
That would be a +0 for the Dex mod
That's
add.
plus. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. And I'll use guidance as well. You said athletics?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Acrobatics is what we started on,
Acrobatics.
right?
Yep. So it's just basically just a D20 roll at this point, because there's no proficiency on a rat.
And my guidance. So 12.
Okay. You barely scrape your way up there.
Okay.
You just barely manage to scrape your way up, shimmying along these kind of brocky outcrops on the stone wall. Not outcrops, the brocky, like, the cracks and crevices in the stone wall. You kind of shimmy, throw yourself up, and make up to the steel bar where you watch Anderos, having gotten patted down, being led down the stairs down to the cell.
Can I, what's the, at this point, like how many people are around?
So in the room currently, after he's being led down, there are 2 guards in the room itself, like this little, like, pre-room essentially.
Where,
Check.
in relation to where I am?
There is one directly beneath you, and there is one standing directly across from you, guarding the door. Try and quickly draw something. Roll 20. Why are you being silly? So be a small room. Kind of a small pre-room kind of deal, and you are up along the wall. I can't drag you on. There we go. Never mind, because I put you in the background. That's why I wasn't letting it.
Oh.
Right then. You are apparently in the background.
How come anytime I go to the bathroom, you instantly switch to R? Like the instant I get from the go to the bathroom, it's just instant switch.
It
Switch
just
to what?
works.
So, wait, the heck?
Hello, Thamor.
Hi,
Thamor magically appears?
Wrong thing.
Please.
Don't worry, it's just the after image.
Okay.
Don't worry, you'll be there later.
That was what happened. That something from that previous bean.
Thamor just appears.
Duplicated.
There are multiple Thamors around the world now.
Oh no!
Yes.
And each of them have more beans.
So yeah, there's like a guard directly underneath you, guard directly across from you, and the door itself is like on the side of this where he was taken down, and the main door that he was brought in is the southern one here.
Is there anything like along the upper edge of the wall that I could kind of I'm trying to have to avoid going onto the floor. Like is there anything that I could like climb onto to kind of like walk the perimeter of the wall?
Not really near the window level. There's a couple of like nails driven in the wall closer to the main door with like handcuffs, like shackles, but nothing else really. No shelving, no. It's just a very, very functional, like cube room.
Okay.
I mean, you are more or less trying to break into a prison.
Right. Okay. All right, I have a crazy idea. I know I can't cast spells in this form. However, would I be able to use my mind link?
Ooh.
What is mine?
Here, I'll link it.
That's the it's the Kalishtar thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
you
not
do
a
give your
spell.
mental stats.
because
Yeah,
it's just a
it is-
telepathic connection, so
yeah,
it
it
doesn't
is not a
say
spell, so theoretically you can.
anything.
So the rat will start
All right.
talking telepathically. All right then. Absinthe,
Okay.
you Barnacle and Absinthe Doss's father apparently would make a crazy team.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so who are
I'm
you?
going to. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna target. I guess this one. It just has to be within 10 feet of me. I don't have to have eye contact, right?
It says the creature must be able to see you and must be within the trait's range. So, I mean,
People.
it doesn't
Okay.
necessarily have to be looking at you, but it has to be able to see you.
It has to be able to see me. Okay, so could I cast it on this guy that's directly underneath me?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to mind link with this guard underneath me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna say, "Hey, you, over here."
And startled, the guard is just now looking frantically around him. Who's there? And the guard, of course, across from him is just going, dude, what's wrong?
Hey, over here. I want to talk to you.
Oh God, Rita.
Do you hear that? And the other guard just kind of rolls his eyes. No, I just keep it quiet. We've got a couple more hours on this shift.
Oh no! Wow, hours. He said.
Hey, you. I don't like the way that guy's looking at you.
There it goes again.
This
Do you not
poor
hear it?
asshole.
No, I don't hear it. Okay, here. Why don't I fancy you? What is it trying to say to you? It doesn't like you. The other guard just, you see his face just go into the most monotone, just like, I don't get paid enough for this crap look.
He doesn't
Okay.
like you. He's out to get you. You better keep an
Roll
eye
me a
on him.
persuasion. I guess.
Oh, I'm absolutely guidancing. Hold on.
I thought you couldn't cap.
Oh, no, I can't, but 14.
Roll. He just kind of shakes his head a little bit. He's like, no, can't be right. No, show yourself. Who are you? Who's talking? And he's just like kind of like spinning on all around, looking at the room, kind of weapons drawn.
You can't see me? I'm right here. Standing right in front of you.
You see him just go real pale real quick. You a ghost? And the other guard guarding the door just, again, rolls his eyes and lets just the loudest sigh. There ain't no ghosts in here.
That's what he wants you to think.
There's something in here. There's definitely something in here. Look, Frank, we've been over this. I know the hours are late. We got the midnight shift. But you need to relax, bud.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me one more persuasion.
Come on. Let me have this.
Yeah, he rolled. He actually rolled low on that one. He rolled high on the other, but he rolled low on this one. And you see him just as you're saying this, he just jumps and immediately like, just he whips out his sword and just swings it in a wide arc around him. And the other guard just now jumps back and is actually looking fairly alarmed. Frank, put that down. Put that down. It's coming for me. It's coming for me. I'm not gonna let it take me. I'm not letting it take me. Frank. And you see him just like, he slowly kind of goes for his weapon as well and reaches over and grabs a pair of shackles off the wall. You gonna be okay? I need to get other people in here. Do you need to go outside and just a quick break? And Frank, as it would be, is still kind of spinning on his heels, blade just held out in front of him, like swinging at empty air.
Five, 6, grab your crucifix. I'm having too much fun with this. I'm sorry.
Such a good reference.
He
Highlight of my night.
Well, okay then. So yeah, as he's kind of like panicking about as you do this, the other guard very carefully kind of moves forward and tries to like gently grab his sword arm to try and just pull his weapon down, and the other guard just immediately swings and strikes, kind of on reflex more than like out of any intent to harm him, but that kind of ensues a bit of a brawl. So he swings. The other guard immediately just kind of takes a bit of a hit to Kuros and takes a slight grazing blow. But at this point, he kind of just snarls a little bit. All right, Frank, you want to do this the hard way and say you're hearing voices in the middle of the night? You need to lay off. The captain is The captain will understand.
Told you he didn't like you.
He was right. You don't like me. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna start clashing.
Okay. So while they're distracted, I'm going to try to jump down and run out the door.
Okay. Yeah. As you sneak down, I mean, they are now kind of locking swords with each other. Frank has gone a bit hysterical at this point, and the other guard is now just trying to subdue him. And you sneak through the door as you hear the clang of swords behind you.
Right.
And as you head down the stairs, you watch. You finally come to the door. As you see, you come to the door right as it swings open, and Bolton walks right past you, starts heading up the stairs. And I guess are you gonna walk past him? Are you following him, or?
I'm following. Yeah, I want to try to like as safely as I can. Try to follow where they're taking Anderos.
Well, he's already deposited, but he's already put Anderos in his cell.
He's in the cell. Okay.
Yeah, you've reached him by the point that he's coming out.
I'm currently earning interest right now.
Okay, so apart from the guy that's walking out, is there anybody else guard wise down there?
Yeah,
I mean, is there anyone posted?
So there's two guards flanking him. That again, they kind of just walk past you as you're huddled, kind of in the corner, at the base of the stairs. And are you sneaking past them into where they came from?
If they're leaving, I just want to I just want to wait, hang low until they pass me by.
Okay. Yeah. So they'll pass you by and not pay you a whole lot of heed. And you hear them head up the stairs out to the other guard room. And of course, you hear Bolton go, "What is the meaning of this?" And you hear again a bit more of like a struggle, clashing of swords, and things finally go silent, and you just hear what you remember Frank being, "He doesn't like me. He's gonna kill me. It's coming. They told me. It told me. The ghost told me. Silence this fool." And you just hear a thunk as you imagine just someone striking the helmet with a pommel. But then it kind of goes quiet as you hear the main door open, and you're just kind of alone in the stairwell.
Okay, so at this point, I'm Andros is alone in his cell, and is there anyone else around? Like,
Well, you're
no more
still in the
guards around?
You're still in the stairwell. You haven't actually. There's like I said, there's one more door at the bottom of that you haven't crossed.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to go through.
Yeah. So as you go through that door, mainly the reason I brought that up is why you're going to follow him, because you see that large stretch of cells. There is still one guard posted down there.
Okay.
Though he doesn't seem to be really paying a whole lot of attention to anything. He's just kind of falling asleep at his post.
Okay. All right. Can I get to a place where I'm not going to be seen, that I can safely just kind of hide and pop out of my wild shape?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, in the sense of you could pick a cell, but you'll also be in a cell.
Right.
And you don't know which ones are necessarily locked or unlocked. Apart from that, it's just a long, narrow. I don't want to lose. So
these are solid wall cells, they're not just bar cells.
No, they're bar cells. Like
okay.
So well, they're solid walls on 3 of the walls with a gated front.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So they're dug out, and then they got the iron bars put in the front. So you got that long hall, the door connecting to the base, and then several cell doors. With a guard kind of standing in the middle of everything. I'm just going to steal one of these tokens. Because it's easier. I'm going to steal this token. Dude. Like I said, this particular guard, it doesn't seem like he's really... He listened to the commotion for a little bit, but he's just falling asleep at his post. So, yes, you could try and crawl into a cell. You do notice the ones immediately next to you, so these 2 ones, at the very least, you can see the doors are closed. You do not know if they're unlocked or locked. Looking farther down, though, you do notice the one not directly across, but the one diagonal from Anderos. The gate or the door seems to be ajar.
Right.
So that's the only one you can notice from your current vantage point.
Okay. Well, how's the light in this hall? Like,
it is very dim. There are a few recessed torches lighting it, but it's not much.
Okay. I guess I want to try. Since this guard seems to be dozing off, I want to just try to stick to the shadows and just kind of try to sneak my way past and try to make it up to. Well, let me ask you this first. Do the bars extend all the way to the floor? As a rat, would I be able to squeeze into these bars? Or...
Yes, you'd be able to squeeze in.
Okay, then I want to try sneaking past the guard and wedging myself into Anderos' cell.
Okay. Yeah, the guard, like I said, the guard is, just go ahead and roll me a stealth check just to confirm that you don't nat 1 or such.
Can I roll with advantage since he's kind of dozing off?
Well, yeah, I was just going to roll with him roll the guard with disadvantage.
Oh, okay, that works too. Yeah.
On his perception.
Fuck.
Oof. He actually rolled a 9 on his disadvantage.
Damn.
So as you kind of scurry past, you get a little, you kind of dislodge a few pebbles, and he's not fully asleep, but he kind of opens his eyes a little bit and looks down into the eyes of a big old rat, and he just kind of startled, kind of shouts and tries to poke at you with the butt of his spear. like kind of trying to stab you, but realizing he's got the wrong side of the spear.
I just take off running. I dash to the end of the hall, and I just wedge myself into the bars of Anderos' cell. And you said that there was a cot in there, or
Yeah.
I just hide underneath the cot.
Yeah, the guard kind of has this like he kind of figures out which end of the spear is the pointy end and lowers it, and then noticing that you've already kind of gone, just grumbles and goes, "Damn rats! They're supposed to fix that." Well,
you see Anderos's head peek out through the bars. Everything all right out there?
he kind of looks over, doesn't see the rat. Yeah, everything's all right. You may have a friend, or dinner. Chuckles to himself.
Sure. I mean, you could join me if you like.
I'd never do that.
As your loss, mate. And then you see Anderos kind of come back in, and he prestidigitates basically like a tiny little hand mirror. It's like you can make a trinket, like a non-magical trinket thing. And he starts looking at it, and he's just like, they weren't joking. Blue. That's interesting. You see him just flop down in the cot and kind of sits back.
Okay. And
You can go ahead and switch if you want.
yeah,
I've hijacked a good portion of this with my hijinks, so.
All right. Try and get a little bit more in. I'm like, my reserves of energy are dropping very quick. Let's go ahead and hop back then to, I guess, Alton at this point. What did you end up deciding you were going to do?
I was going to go find Whisper, but I don't know if I should do that anymore.
I mean, what would your character do?
You would go find Whisper.
Go for that? Because you don't know what Evian and Flame
No,
work out.
I don't, unfortunately. So I'll probably be there when they bust in. So whatever. So yeah, he would go to the villa or whatever she would normally take him to.
Okay.
And then attempt to look for her.
Yeah, and the guards notice you, the very familiar guard at the front. Again, kind of.
He's actually coming in the front this time.
Yeah. The guard notices you, and like at first, kind of goes his weapon, spots you, and like can't decide between whether or not he wants to smirk and also like scowl at you. Like, hey, he's finally coming in the front. Oh wait, he's coming in the front. Fuck.
Yeah.
And he just kind of halts you at the gate and goes, "All right, just let me see if you're allowed it. All right."
I'm being prevented from getting in, and he rotates his ring.
Look, bud, I'm just trying to do my job. He just throws his hands up in the air. All right.
I thought your job was to know who I am and allow me entrance.
That was before you decided to come in the other. You know what? Fine. All right.
I'm giving you a freebie on this one. I thought you'd be happy.
You've
done well. Here, you have some gold. He gives him 5 gold. He's like, look, no hard feelings. Seriously.
He's like, and he kind of looks at the gold and looks up at you. He's like, you know, I can't take this, right?
Sure, you can.
No, seriously, Whisper will have me killed
for taking gold from a. Okay.
From taking gold from another member of the Faceless. That is, I am in her employ, not yours.
I see how this works. This is a gift. It's not for employ. But if you feel that you can't take it, then I won't give it.
He looks over behind him at the house, and he goes, "No, I cannot take it," and puts his hand out.
Good work. Puts his hand on his shoulder. Good work. Can I go in now?
Of course.
Thank
And
you.
he very covertly just kind of pockets the 5 gold and lets you through. And as you enter into the house, Whisper's already already out in the foyer, and she spots you and goes, "I was wondering when you'd arrive. It seems it seems a couple of your friends have found their way into the sewers.
Oh my God, word travels
Perhaps
fast.
it were a bit of a. I have ears everywhere, darling.
Oh no, I didn't say that in character because I wouldn't have known
sorry.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps a work of yours. Are they required friends of yours?
I know nothing of this. I am confused.
I know you don't. It's my informants have told me as such. My question now stands is whether or not I invite them up or I bury them for you.
Or say that again.
Whether I let them up or I bury them for you.
Do I know them? Do you have a name? Is there any way that I can?
Yes, it's the ranger girl and the big one with the helmet.
Oh yeah, okay, yes. Those are my compatriots, and I'm very surprised to hear that they're making entrance into your domain, which I most certainly did not tell them to do. I apologize. But I would prefer they not be killed. Thank you.
We will discuss the cost of such things later, but for now, you still have a job for me, so you are still important to me. So, and she makes a hand motion, and you hear a scurrying as a small halfling makes his exit. And quick jump then, as Thamor and Evian, you hear the hatch above where the halfling had disappeared. You guys were kind of just chilling down there for probably about 5-10 minutes or so, as he was up there, and now you hear him scurrying back down. All right, Lady Whisper sends us send you up.
Okay, let's go on up.
Don't go making trouble for her, though. You got that? You might be big. Pretty good with this. And he kind of like points to the crossbow. I can
So
hit me.
Am I.
You what now?
So am I.
Yeah, but I don't. You don't. But I got one. You don't. Just go on.
I have. And he's gonna climb up the ladder.
All right. Did we lose Evian?
Oh, I guess we lost Kay.
She's trying to regain her voice.
He was eaten by the internets.
Come back, Kay.
Even now, it is us three. Well, us two, in fact.
The Fae are tricksy ones.
Guess while we're waiting for that, jump and get some things caught up. Zidane, you said you were heading straight for the garden?
Yep. The garden on the wall.
So you make good time having your mount lead you there. And as you approach the garden, or as you head up to the garden, you find that there is no one up there. However, you do see in the center of it, you see a piece of parchment kind of held down by the trowel that Father Rael tends to use, as well as a small pouch.
Oh, that's not good. Looking around, what are the plants still green, healthy?
The plants are still green.
Well, let's try picking up the piece of parchment.
It weighs just like a stone. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
It's a
you
mimic. It wraps around my hand.
yeah you move aside the trowel and pick up the pouch. It's a small little pouch. Has a bit of weight to it. And as you pick up the note written very clearly in Ryle's hand, it just simply says, "Zidane, the rest I leave up to you." And you see, well, I mean, that's all it says, but then you've got the pouch.
What's inside?
As you open up the pouch, out comes a metal acorn. And it feels warm to the touch. Seems to almost glow softly, like a very faint, like autumn orange, like reflecting off its surface, metallic surface.
Does it look similar to the one that wrapped around my focus or my medallion?
Yes, it is very similar in design, if just different in color.
Zidane's a bit confused. He's trying to puzzle things out. And he's got a stinking suspicion in his gut that the Riel's not in the city. Well, old man. I hope you got someone to take care of your garden, also. Damn it. And he makes his way down the stairs. He's holding the acorn in one of his hands. Gets down to the base of the tower, and then he looks over to Shinari and...
Well, at the base of the tower, you're actually going to see someone down there. You'll see a small, just a young-looking boy, almost kind of a noble squire-looking kind of kid, is standing down there, waiting for you. And as you come down, he kind of looks up to you and says, "Are you Master Zidane?"
Yes.
Okay. So, by accordance to his will, Father Rael has entrusted the estate over to you. You are now its legal owner, and with it comes a few stipulations, however, in time to be proven potentially as a lord or lordess of your choosing. However, this is still in process by the Court of Nobles. However, you do still get the entitlement to the land. This as has been dictated by Riel, who has left the property in your estate.
Blink, stare?
How do I put it? He has, well, he has left the city and has given me orders to tell you that you are now the owner of his estate. So, the home and the garden, as he said, something about a garden, and his home are now yours. However, his titles and position are, well, could be yours pending approval by the court.
How long does that take? A couple of gears are starting to grind in his mind, thinking of present circumstances that one of his friends is currently in.
Normally the court would convene on such matters at the end of the month, but be that as it may, we have a current, more pressing case I've heard of criminal charges to be brought forward, so it may take longer. I guess it just depends. You can bring it up with the lords or lordesses and see if you want to convene a court earlier, or try to get a meeting with the king himself, though that may take longer than just waiting. I'm still new to the etiquette myself.
I suppose there's no special preferences given for a warden, then.
The best I understand it, my lord, is you are more of like a noble in waiting. Not necessarily a full noble, but you still have more pull than the average, citizen.
Right. Is there some sort of seal or badge that I need to wear now?
Oh, right. Forgive me, my lord, I nearly forgot. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a ring. And on the ring is engraved a symbol of the acorn. This was the seal he chose to represent his nobility with. It is now your seal, should you, of course, choose to accept his wishes of it. And again, pending court, whether or not nobility's transference will be conferred upon this seal.
Is he extending the ring?
Yes.
Zidane opens up his palm slowly and motions to accept it.
Okay. He just places it in your palm. Will that be all, my lord?
Am I clears his throat? Am I allowed to visit the estate now, or?
It's your estate, my lord. You can visit it whenever you like.
May I bring guests with me through the checkpoints?
I mean, to access your estate, you have to present your seal, and as a noble in waiting, you do have special conference of privileges, so I can't imagine why they wouldn't let you within, of course, relative allowances within the normal court of law. Like, you can't bring an army with you, of course, or anything like that, but bring in a guest or so, and no, that's a problem.
Oh, I don't need an army. I have a Theomore.
You have a what?
Nothing.
Nice.
There's are there documents already put into place? Something physical?
Yes, Father Rail has started some of the paperwork with the court itself, left some of the documentation in the estate from what I have been told for you to follow up on. But matters of that should be head by the estate, as well as his personal attendant at the estate.
Oh. Well, all right then. Thank you. And what was your name?
Name's Gaspar, sir. Well, Gaspar, sorry. Not Gaspar as in
Friendly ghost.
Yeah. Well, I meant more of not name does not sound like he's gasping for air.
Gaspar.
Gaspar?
No one announces like Gaspar. No one gives weird news like Gaspar.
It's Gaspar.
Gets incredibly confused about Thamor like Gaspar.
No one shows up to tell you your mentor's dead. That's our Gaspar.
So does the ring fit? If Zidane tries putting it over?
Yep. It seems like it was made to your size.
And it didn't just do that as soon as it popped into my hand.
No. It's not a ring you also ever remember Rael wearing, necessarily.
This is very strange to Zidane, but he'll take it in stride. All right. Thank you, Gaspar. And if I ever have need of contacting you, where might I find you?
Oh, don't worry about much that, my lord. I will be attending to the house every now and then.
Right.
I am a squire in training, as it were, and I actually serve. Well, I don't serve your house, as it were, but I do serve your attendant and a few others in their duties to better learn how to perform my duties. So you may see me around.
Well, that's good. I think that will be all.
If I may ask, my lord, can I? And he looks over at your at Shinare. Does it bite?
At that, she huffs, and then just like, and telepathically to Zidane is like, "Wow, I never knew." Some people think that we're all so uncivilized. She's saying that no, she doesn't bite.
You can talk to. Can I? Well, if my lord doesn't find this offensive, can I pet her?
He looks over to her. She rolls her eyes and steps forward.
Yep. Gaspar's eyes kind of light up as he gently pats her on the head. I don't get to own a dog or any other creatures, so I appreciate this. Thank you, my lord. I will hopefully see you around. And with that, he gives a short bow and heads back towards the noble's quarters.
Yeah, Zidane is left there petting Shannara's head while also looking at the ring that now sits on his finger. This is a very strange day. Next!
Welcome to the nightmare.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't expect everyone to pick 7 almost individual routes.
You're doing very
You
well
never
with it.
split the party.
Doing
man.
very good.
Sorry. You weren't prepared, so I forced you to do it 7 times over.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. I usually don't. It doesn't affect me quite as much as it affects you guys because you guys have to wait for essentially what he just said next. But
Everyone's
you guys
doing
are-
We're watching all the hilarity at every different angle that it's happening. It's a shared zeitgeist. No, not zeitgeist. What's the word?
Schadenfreude?
Schoenfrode.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
I like how we're all pronouncing the same word completely differently, and only one of us.
Yeah.
Shagan and Panaver.
I will ask if
It is that German word.
It's not that German word, it's the other German word that
Scheiße.
German word.
Yeah, I will ask if it is all the same though. Potentially, if we can call it here.
Sure.
Yeah.
As apologize for cutting it short. Kind
I enjoyed it.
of burning very quick.
No, that's
Schadenfreude.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
We will pick up, starting off with Alton and Evian and Thamor with Whisper. See how that plays out, and we will continue the cycle of everyone trying to piece together what will happen, and seeing what will happen. Whether or not we go to court, whether or not we get a jailbreak, whether or not we get something else to happen.
Why not all of them at the same time?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
may happen,
strange.
right?
Thamor has no idea why he's down there.
If we split the party 3 ways, we can do all 3 at the same time.
Let me ask you, that's the weirdest part Thamor has right now. That's the part